Coming to you from inside my makeshift paint booth, about to spray some more of the pull tractor parts. Did a lot of work around the property this week, so it's not as much project footage to share with you, but I do have a few things included. Got some footage also of one of my Automotive students who's working in the field. I'm still looking for more current and past graduate students of anything that you guys are working on, whether it's automotive related or not. Something that I can include so that our viewers and our sponsors can see that, what some of the students have been up to. I've also got a surprise for one of our more faithful viewers, my uncle up in Pennsylvania, as well as a teaser for one of my past graduates. I hope you enjoy this episode. Here's another one I just pulled out of the weeds. This is an eXmark Turf Ranger, 1800 I believe. So it's missing a tire and a wheel, but everything else seems to be there. So we'll see if we can get this thing fired up before we invest in a wheel and make sure everything works. Alright, so it is an 1800 series. This is a commercial mower. You can see first if this thing will turn over. We're going to pull the cover off the engine, make sure that the engine does turn over. If it does, then we're going to empty the fuel tank, go through the fuel system, clean the carburetor, and see if we can get this thing to fire off. We get it running, we'll put a wheel and a tire on it, and then I'll decide what I'm going to do with it after that. So I'm able to do the work on this thing easier. I took the deck off of it. It wasn't too difficult a task. So now I can actually get under and get to the engine easier. Since this engine is locked up, I'm going to have to pull the engine off. And I think I have an engine that'll fit this thing in storage. So once I get this engine off, I will go to storage, pull out the other engine, and get this thing going. It's too good a machine to just let it go for a blown engine. So we're going to try to repair this thing. This is a chain from a blower machine that hooks up behind a tractor. It threw its link, and we're going to put a new one of those in this morning. So basically this is like a dual motorcycle chain. So there's going to be 3 of these instead of 1 before we put the lock on. So we have to put these between the chain links themselves. So you can see we got the master link in. We got the 2 sections between the chains. That was a little tricky getting that in there. Now we're going to push the rest of the link through and then put on our lock. So the master link's installed, the lock's in place, and so now we're going to put the cover back on it. Then it should be good to go. Ready to hook to the tractor and go to work. This is another one of my machines that was being claimed by vines and briars. I've got most of it cut away to pull out. I'll tell you what it is and explain to you how it works once I get it pulled out. Some of you may be wondering, do I own anything that isn't being claimed by nature? Most of my stuff, in fact, is put away in garages and storage and barns and whatnot. But some of the stuff during the cleanup process is being pulled out and gone through. Some of these machines I acquired many years ago, long before reality TV, which isn't really reality, it's all produced, screwed up everything for us, and now people think that most of the stuff they own is really worth something when it's truly not. There are still some good deals out there to be found. You just have to be patient, be paying attention, ready to jump on them when they happen. So this is a side rake. What you would do is cut your hay, and after you cut your hay, you would rake it, and this machine would put it into rows. Then you would come along with your baler, scoop it up and bale it, and put it away. Everything functions on this, works really well. This is typically a horse-drawn type of machine. The reason is the actuator, or what makes this machine function, is this piece right here, and it's driven by the wheel. So as long as the wheel is turning, the rake will function. So you can imagine if you're pulling this with a tractor and going too fast, it could damage the machine. So by using a team of horses to pull it, or a tractor at a very slow speed, then you'll be able to rake your hay successfully. So some of the controls on the machine, this lever here actually controls the casters on the back to raise and lower the height of the rake there. This control here controls the feed side of the rake and its height. This lever down here actually engages and disengages the drive system for the wheel so that the machine will freewheel, the rake will freewheel for either hauling it or moving it from one field to another or around the farm, or also to spin it for doing work, any kind of repairs that you would need on it as well. So this was the rake before I pulled it out. You can see the vines had themselves twisted around the spokes of the wheel, pretty tightly holding it to the ground. But we were able to get it out no problem. And here is an old John Deere sickle bar mower, horse-drawn. That would have been used to cut the hay before it was raked up. And in here is an old Automotive small round baler, and that would have been used to bale it after it was cut and raked. You can see another one of my storage containers here, taken over with vines that have latched themselves to the mechanism to open the trailer. Only my family knows the items that are inside of this container, but one of my past graduates, Mike Pigg, would be interested to know one of them, and he will know one of them because he has been after me for a very long time to get one of the things in here running again so that he could ride it and possibly buy it. He might be able to ride it, but I doubt that I'll ever sell it to him. But in the coming weeks, we'll open this up and you'll see one of the things that's in there. So this is a 1963 Cushman Truckster. It belongs to my uncle up in Pennsylvania. 2-3 years back, I brought this thing back down to Virginia, did a bunch of body work on it, put it all back together and got it painted for him. So now he gets to enjoy it.
I put it in the second gear right there. When I was coming up, I put it right in one up. I went all the way up here on second.
Got 2 more of the pull tractor pieces primed. These came out pretty good. I had to do this one a second time. Had a little body work to do on it, but it came out good. So these things will be ready to wet sand and paint next time. Next time on Bulldog Builds, we'll have more of the tractor panels painted and polished. We'll see if we can get the engine off of this eXmark mower, and we'll tear into this Automotive carburetor and see if we can repair it. See you next week.